churn the ocean of knowledge. In Hindi it is said, Vichar Sagar Manthan. And when you churn something, you get something out of it. When you churn curd, you get butter. Yes, so when you churn something good, you get something valuable out of it. Now, churning is something we do all day. Yes, but when we churn on the truth that Baba tells us, then we get power out of it. And Baba today gives us many points about how to churn about the soul. So Baba says, see yourself, think about yourself as a soul, and think about your qualities as a soul, and also think about your journey as a soul, and how you are in your 84th birth. And also think about the Sangam Yoga and how Baba is taking you across. And Baba says this is the way to churn knowledge. And when we churn knowledge, we get the strength that comes from being soul conscious. So you see that our man and buddhi need food for thought constantly. There is this expression, food for thought, which is used in the world because you always need some food to chew on. So your man and buddhi also needs something to chew on. But just like, if you just consume whatever food is lying in front of you, then there are chances that you will grow very unhealthy. So you have to choose your food. Yes, so just like for the body, you have to choose the food that the body wants to accept. Similarly, you have to choose the food for thought. And Baba says, take a point of knowledge. Take the point that I am a soul, and just churn on what is your quality, what is your form in the soul world, what is your relationship with God Himself, and also think about your journey in this 84 birth cycle, and how you are at the end of this cycle and you're trying to make a new beginning. So Baba says that churn about these aspects of the soul. And I was just thinking, you see, that today Baba says that when somebody says, I'm a carpenter or I'm a teacher, so all of that is the soul saying, I'm a carpenter. Yes, so, and the other day I was giving a course to somebody, and that brother's name was something. So let's say the brother's name was Sam, and I told him that, just like in the course we say that you don't say I the body, you say my body. So I asked him, who is the one who says my body? So the body is separate, yes? So there's someone saying my body, my hands, my head. So he says, I am Sam, and Sam is saying my body, my head. So I said, then who is Sam? So I said, that I don't know. So you see that sometimes, we come up with these fancy, these fancy terms also, like you will say, I'm the name. And in the world, these things are very, celebrated. And somebody will say, I'm Sam, and Sam is saying, this is my body, and Sam is saying, this is my relationship. But who is Sam? So we don't know. So again, you will identify with your son's scars, maybe, yes, that Sam is a very short tempered and very impatient person. So he always gets worked up. So again, you will think about your personality, the present personality. But Baba says, when you say, I am a carpenter, or when you say, I am a teacher, or when you say, I am a woman or a man, so you are obviously not creating the powerful, elevated consciousness that you need. So Baba says that the soul, when it is body conscious, will say that, I am a man or woman or carpenter or a cobbler or whatever. But when you are in soul conscious, you will say, I am a soul. And when you say, when you say, I am so and so, that also the soul is saying. But with soul, the body conscious soul is saying, I am a carpenter. Yes, so when you're body conscious, or I am this Sam, or I am a woman, or whatever, you will identify with the name of the body, or with the gender of the body, or with the age of the body. Or somebody will say, I am an old man. So that means they are identifying with the age of the body. But Baba says, consciousness has this huge range. You can be conscious about anything. You can be conscious about your age, gender, height, weight, religion, nationality, the work you do, or the relationships you have. You can be in any consciousness, but what is the right consciousness? The right consciousness is soul consciousness, because you are a soul. So when you are in soul consciousness, you remember what are your qualities, what are your traits, original traits as a soul. That is when you start getting the power of a soul. So Baba says, just think about, who you really are. And Baba today gives a very beautiful image of we living in the soul world. And Baba says, you are a soul who is a resident of the soul world. And so if you want to know somebody, the best place to know them is in their home. Yes, so you don't, so if you want to know an actor and you know them from stage, then you probably don't know them. But if you know them at home, then probably you know them better. Although spiritually that is also not correct. But, in a social sense, if you want to know somebody, you know them in their home. Now Baba says, who are you, the soul? You are a soul who lives in your home, the world of light, where you are bodiless. And even your subtle organs are very quiet and merged. So, just like a star, you're just there being yourself. So you're not thinking, you're not doing. So the basic quality of a soul is to be. So even in the soul world, you are yourself. You are this self-luminous, very sweet, very peaceful, very loveful, very pure point of light. So, just like the stars in the sky, you are also radiating peace and joy and love. But even your subtle organs are merged. So your mind, your buddhi, your sanskars, they are not active. So you're not thinking, you're just being yourself in the soul world. And Baba says, when you want to practice soul consciousness, it is very relevant and beautiful if you just try to see yourself who you are in your sweet home, and you are bodiless, you are thoughtless, and you're just a being of peace. And then even in that state, even in the soul world, you have this natural yoga with Baba. So you know that Baba is our eternal parent. So Baba is our eternal, everything. So Baba is my parent, my teacher, my guide, my everything. And a soul has natural yoga with Baba. So Baba says, when you are body conscious, you have yoga with so many souls. You have yoga with your parents, your children, physical. So, in this physical consciousness, you have yoga with all who reside in the physical world. But when you're soul conscious, at that time you have yoga only with Baba. And even in the soul world, when I sit there like a being of peace and joy and love, then my heart is open and I'm drawing love and light from Baba, because Baba is my eternal companion. And whenever you're soul conscious, your yoga is with Baba. So Baba says, just practice, churn on your nature, your true form as a soul, your quality as a soul, and see yourself in your sweet home in communion with Baba. And when we are soul conscious, so this Baba says, Baba today talks about darkness and light. And there's a very interesting analogy that Baba gives. Baba says that just like you see, you have these two eyes which can see outside, which can see the physical world. But when there is no light, can you see anything? So even if your eyes are open, you need light to see. Similarly, Baba says that even the soul has eyes. So what is the eye of the soul? The buddhi. But Baba says, when there is no light of knowledge, so just like, in the physical world, you need physical light to see everything. Similarly, the soul needs to have light of knowledge so that it can see the spiritual world, the three worlds, the three aspects of time. The soul can see itself, the soul can see Baba. So you need the light of knowledge for all of this. And Baba says, here I am giving you the light of knowledge. And with this light of knowledge, now you just see, don't close your eyes. Keep your buddhi open. Become soul conscious. Always stay in this awareness that I am a soul sitting bodiless in a state of being and free from thoughts and everything. And I'm drawing this light and might from Baba because I have natural yoga with Baba in the soul world. And when you come into action, also understand that you are an actor on this stage. So you have to be aware about who you really are, and in that awareness you have to sit in your sweet home and have good yoga with your sweet parent. But after that good yoga, when you come here, when you switch your awareness to here, yes, so that switch also you make and you come here, then also who are you. You are an actor wearing a costume called the body and playing a role on this stage. And Baba says, when I am playing a role on this stage, I must understand that now it is the 84th birth. What scene is going on? So just like, when an actor, he plays a role on a stage, the actor needs to know the whole script. Yes. Now, when the actor knows the script and the scene, then the actor is not taken by surprise. Is the actor taken by surprise then? No. So you know that, just imagine you are an actor on a physical stage and you know that this is the 4th scene of the drama, and in this scene there will be a mob coming and creating whole chaos on the stage, and then in that scene you have to play the hero. So is it difficult to play the hero? No, because you know the scene, you know your role, you know your part. Yes. Similarly, Baba says that when you come onto the stage, when you switch your awareness from your true home and your true father and you come onto the stage, even at that time you become, you be soul conscious that I am the soul wearing this costume of the body, and this is the last scene of the drama going on. And what is the last scene supposed to be like? This last scene is very, very unpredictable. So everything is happening suddenly and there is a lot of chaos and nobody has power and everybody is weak and they're all playing their weak parts. And in this scene, I have to play my part as I am. So I know who I am, I know what is my quality, I know whose child I am, and I also play the role but as myself. So even an actor brings his personality into the role. So I have a role but I also have a personality. And what is my personality? My personality is very spiritual. I am a soul, I am a child of the ocean of virtues and powers. So I come and play my role as myself. And I have seen that when you're self-aware, when you're soul conscious, then you play a scene very differently. Have you seen that good actors are always lauded for playing scenes very differently? So, if there is a good actor, then they will say that this scene, if you made 15 other people play this, they wouldn't play it the way he played it or she played it. So that's the quality of a good actor. And now when I'm a soul conscious soul, I'm a very good actor. And into every scene, I bring this aspect of my divinity, my spiritual personality, and my, this expression that I am the child of God. And I play every scene. It's a very mundane setting. It's a very mundane scene, but I play it as I am. I play it like the child of God. And that is the beauty of playing your role in Sangam Yuga. So, this churning about who I really am and this place from where you come when you play the role. So Baba has enabled us to come into light and play our, enact our part in this old world with this new light, with this new awareness of who I am and what is my true quality, and I play my role according to that quality. And I will tell you from my own personal experience that when you're soul conscious, you are different, because the whole world is body conscious and you are not in the same consciousness. But then when you behave as you are, then everything around you also starts to shift in a very different way. So I have experimented with this fact that your world is your creation, and your creation is based on your consciousness. It's not based on what you do, what you have. It's based on the consciousness you're coming from. And I have seen hearts change. I have seen situations change. I have seen everything around me work differently. And I have experienced a different world, even in the midst of this old world. My world is very different from the world around me. Because, and I'm not just talking about how I feel inside, but even things on the outside are very influenced by your consciousness. And there are certain things which you always hear in the old world, and you think that they are the norm, and they always happen in the old world, and they will happen. Yes, they will happen, because that's the norm of the old world. But they will not happen to you. Do you understand? So it is the old world, and everything in the old world will happen the old way, but it will not happen to you. So everything around you and in you will be different when you are different and you are in soul consciousness. So this is something that Baba says, that you need to churn constantly about your true form, true home, true parent. And then even when you are here playing your part, so who am I? I'm not a carpenter, a doctor, an actor, no. I'm a soul playing a role, and I play the role as I am. So this is something. And then today there are so many points in the Murli, and Baba says that Baba also lays down the contrast between bhakti and knowledge. And Baba says that in bhakti there is this very very famous statement that they make, that reaching God is like going up a mountain, and there are 5 paths to the mountain, and whichever path you take, you will reach the top of the mountain. And they say that it doesn't matter whether you read one scripture or the other, or follow one path or the other, but you will reach God anyway. But Baba says it is not like that. There is one God and there is one path. Yes, there is one God and there is one path. And what is the path? The path is Raj Yoga. And what is Raj Yoga? So only when you understand who you are and you tune yourself into soul consciousness, and then you remember Baba and you act according to Baba's Srimat, then you go to Baba. So Baba says it's not like there are several paths, and whichever path you take you can reach. No, it's not like that. There is one God, one path, and that path I come and tell you. And Baba says, apart from that, whatever you do is just a ritual. It doesn't make any sense. So Baba says, you are trying to offer flowers at my feet and wash my feet and this and that, and I don't have a body. So whose feet are you washing and what are you doing? And then Baba says you read scriptures and you go on pilgrimages. But Baba says you don't need any reading or anything. You just have to know you are a soul, sit in the consciousness you are a soul, and remember me, and draw my qualities into yourself. And then when my qualities are drawn into you, then you start behaving differently. And when you start acting differently, your actions change, your destiny changes. So Baba says it is as simple as that. You don't need to do these, long exercises that you do. And then Baba says that's in some religions, they pluck the hair of their body, and Baba says that is as good as violence. And I'm not asking you to do, I'm not asking you to have any kind of violence. I'm not asking you to torture yourself. And I remember, when I was little, my mother used to keep fasts, and she used to really keep fast, like every 1 week, twice she would be fasting. And I loved food, so I always thought, does God really want you to be hungry? And what will God get if I am hungry? And I used to always think, why does God want you to starve? And does God want you to want to torture you? And I used to ask my mother, what will God get if you are hungry? And why does He want you to starve? Is God some kind of, He enjoys you being starved? So she used to say, you please get out of here, and you are messing up my mind, and already I'm hungry, and then you're asking these questions and making it worse. But I always had this question that why would God torture you? Like, why would God ask you to do something which is physically torturing? So, like food, water, air, these are basic needs. So Baba says you have a body, and clothing, shelter, warmth, sunlight, food, water, these are needs of the body. And I never ask you to give up on the needs of the body. In fact, Baba says that even in the final moments, even when even when there is so much chaos around that there is no food, I will immerse you in the subtle region and make sure you feel fed. Even if you're not fed physically, you feel fed. Have you felt this, that sometimes in the night you feel very thirsty, and then for some reason or the other you can't quench that thirst, and then suddenly you feel like your thirst is not there anymore, and somebody gave you water. I don't know how, but I felt this a couple of times, and I know that there is a method through which somebody can make you feel like you have had water and food without you having it physically. So, and that's how the subtle body works. And Baba says that even in the final moments, I will not allow you to feel hungry and thirsty. I will immerse you in the subtle region, and I will make sure you feel okay, or you feel like you have had water and food. But which children will Baba do this for? Those who always follow Baba's Shrimat. So what the point that I was trying to make is, Baba never asks us to torture ourselves. Now, when it comes to celibacy, when it comes to eating impure food, when it comes to engaging in sensual pleasures, Baba says that is not your need, that is your habit. And I teach you how to distinguish between physical needs and habits of the soul, which the soul is expressing through the body. So, lust is not a need of the body, lust is a sanskar of the soul, which the soul expresses through the body. And when you work on your sanskar, when the soul works on its sanskar, then the body also starts, feeling that lust is not required. So, Baba makes us distinguish between real needs and acquired habits which look like needs. So, do you know there is a very good expression in English, and habits are called second nature. And when there is a habit, it looks like a nature, but it is not nature. It is just a habit. So, Baba says that I give you the knowledge of what is your need. Now, Baba says when you are in a body, the body is made of 5 elements. Yes, water, air, ether, earth and fire. And you need all these 5 elements. You need warmth, you need food, you need water, you need fresh air, and you need good vibrations. So you need all of these. These are physical needs. But apart from that, whatever you think is your need is actually a habit. And I ask you to get rid of that. And that is not torture, that is liberation. Yes. So I don't ask you to torture yourself. I teach you how to liberate yourself. But without the knowledge, you see, that today we have, we don't understand the difference between torturing and liberating ourselves. So when you kind of stop yourself from fulfilling the needs, then that's torture and that will not have good results. But when you start working on that which is a habit and not a need, then you will liberate yourself. So Baba says that I don't tell you these things. I don't tell you to torture yourself. I don't tell you to offer flowers and whatever at my feet. I don't ask you to make these big pilgrimages and go barefoot to walk miles and miles barefoot for me. I don't ask you to read scriptures. All I ask you to do is be soul conscious, remember me, and follow the disciplines that I teach you, because the discipline of celibacy, the discipline of pure food, the discipline of pure thoughts, this will make you go back to your original stage of divinity. So this is the difference between what we learn in bhakti and what we learn in gyan. And then Baba today also appreciates those who have not read any scriptures in bhakti. So Baba says, the more well read you are according to the world, the more you are in trouble here. Yes, because most of what Baba says is not what the world says. So Baba says, usually those who are uneducated, they bow down before the educated. But Baba says here, if you are uneducated in the worldly sense, it's a very good thing. Because you can be very educated here very fast, because you're a clean slate. And you don't have to make the effort to unlearn and then learn. So I think, in Gyan, if you have already messed up your buddhi with a lot of the belief systems of the world, it becomes really difficult to unlearn all of them. and then learn Gyan, learn the truth. But those who have not had all of that tainting, they come and they listen to Gyan and they get it. And I can tell you from my example, I have not read any scriptures in this birth, so it was pretty easy for me. And Baba says that when you come to Gyan, you get Gyan because your buddhi is not tainted by all of that. And then when you know Gyan, and later if you have a discussion about the scriptures also, you can find the true meaning. You know the essence of what exactly the scripture was trying to tell you, because you know your perception, your attitude is set so right that you can see very clearly what is the truth in that scripture, and you can sift, you know, the story from the message, and you can focus on the message. So Baba says that I love the uneducated ones. So those who are not very educated according to the world, I like them because they can receive the Gyan very easily. Okay, Om Shanti.